sports coverage of the 2003 World Championships of Gymnastics. Today, the team finals. So far, it has been an unmitigated disaster for more than just Russia, but this is the longtime general of the gymnastic troops from Russia on the men's and the women's side. And he is now looking to one of his longtime foot soldiers, Svetlana Khorkina, to salvage something out of what has happened to his team. On the right there, perhaps you saw the ad for which Svetlana Khorkina is the model for the watch, the sponsor of this World Championships.
Very intricate vault here. She has a hard time getting this around. One of the best ones I have seen her do. You can watch her in training and she'll land on all fours.
If you ever catch her do one in training.
10 times in a row. Very intricate, though. She'll do a half turn onto the board, then half turn again onto the horse. 1.5 twists, and gets her feet down.
And you know what's amazing to me, Tim? That's one of the highest start values in the meet. It's a 9.9. Crazy.
And every time you see her on the vault, you will remember the day the vault was the wrong height in the Olympic Games in Sydney, and she elected not to vault again. Svetlana Khorkina with a 9.475. But the Russians have so much to overcome. Now to China, Fan Ye. And the Chinese team has already put up a very good score here on the uneven bars.
You know, they're capable of huge scores. They are by far the best in the world on this event. Again, here at the World Championships, a very young team.
Incredibly difficult elements done so well. Beautiful full spin on one arm.
Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh!
Again.
Not fair.
Another huge fall, 0.5 of a point, right off the bat on a skill. Well, for most people, I should say for most people, not a difficult skill, a transition from the low to high bar, but the Chinese athletes, frankly, they are so tiny that going from one bar to the other is one of their greatest challenges.
That's a real shame. She scored 9.612 in the preliminary.
The Chinese team had a 9.087 that they had to keep in the first rotation. Their first score here on the uneven bars was a 9.587. The prosperity didn't last long. This low score will bring everybody back down to earth, and they're getting set to absorb their second low score of the competition.
I had thought that if China was able to hit 3 clean bar routines and 3 clean beam routines, they might be the ones to beat. But when you can't grab the bar and keep on swinging, it doesn't happen that way.
A 9.025. Now, Lin Li.
I tell you, I saw this girl in training the first day. Somebody came up to me and said, Tim, you got to check her out. She is incredible. She is a trendsetter. She is so far ahead of the rest of the world on this event. A remarkable story. She was actually brought onto the national team, then sent home because they didn't like her body type. But watch these.
Look at the speed.
Spins.
Right to handstand.
And a huge Jaeger. I can't believe it. Again.
But a smart cover-up.
Another mistake. She had a little bit of a problem with that in warm-ups earlier. She was supposed to go past the handstand.
She's smiling, but it's not up to the standard that you said, at least from what you've seen.
No, well, she's going to get a very good score, but it could have been in the 9.7, possibly close to 9.8 range. Nobody wants it.
You know, all these Chinese bar routines are out of a 10.0 start value.
It all starts with this release skill, little bit of style, slaps her legs, creates some sound, a little bit of drama, beautiful hack salto transition to the low bar.
But now this is where she ran into trouble.
Supposed to cast and go past the handstand there. Doesn't have enough energy to get over. But as Elfie said, a very quick-thinking gymnast covers up, but it's still a deduction. That's a shame.
A 9.450 for Lin Li. Now, one would think this patchwork team of the United States would be susceptible to a major mistake the likes of which has befallen the other countries. When we come back, Team USA on the uneven bars. We're back in Anaheim, California at the World Championships of Gymnastics, where some of the best nations in the world have been licking their wounds. For the United States, that came earlier in the week. Now, with the nations of Russia, China, Spain making major mistakes, it is a chance for a team like Ukraine to do well in these World Championships. Let's watch the performance of Irina Krasnianska. And Tim, this is a team that is going to absorb an 8-6 on the uneven bars. But if you can somehow balance that out, now to me it seems with a 9-6 or maybe a high 9-5, you can overcome that.
Well, yeah, the way things have been going, every top team, except for the Americans so far, has had a major deduction, a major fall. So like you said, yeah, take an 8-6, maybe grab a 9-6 and another big score, and you're right in there.
So the score for Ukraine was a 9.562. Today, that's a huge score.
Yeah, there's no way, if you had asked all the gymnastics experts across the world if they thought that the team finals would have this many mistakes from the top teams, they'd have said no way.
Now you turn to Peggy Liddick, the head coach of Team Australia. The transplanted American was so disappointed with the lack of her team's ability to win a medal on home soil in Sydney. But one of the highlights of the Sydney Olympics was Allana Slater. And one of the highlights today in these World Championships was the red-haired Allana Slater.
Peggy's goal here at the World Championships was just simply to qualify to the Olympic Games, and they felt a little bit of a pain. Like the Americans, they lost their top all-around gymnast and potential for some much higher scores.
Lisa Skinner out with an injury, similar to the Americans.
Slater on that vault got a 9.225. Now we're back to what's at hand for the United States, and the story of 15-year-old Chellsie Memmel. She certainly made a lot of national news in newspapers across the country because of that last-minute phone call that puts her in the World Championships, with her team so much in need because of injury and illness. In
a difficult position starting off the team. This is huge pressure.
Big release right here. Right on her fingertips. Looks so nice when it's far away like that. Gives the coach a bit of a heart attack.
And the great thing about this exercise is Chellsie, unlike all her other events, she has so much variety. Check this out.
Oh!
Al, dismounts like that, they don't just happen to kids with no experience like this. One of the most difficult dismounts in the world today to stick, especially in a pressure situation. It's all blind. She was aggressive. She was definitive. She opened her body, put her feet down.
Remember, she was just supposed to be on the sidelines cheering for this team.
Tasha Schwikert next to go for the United States. She was part of Team USA in the bronze medal performance in the last World Championships. Memmel score. Oh boy, it's huge. 9.637.
Tasha, the first day, had a small deduction. She scraped her feet on the ground.
Tim, she looked nervous. I think she held back. She wasn't herself on this event. This can be a huge event for Tasha.
Well, her coach says that the one thing Tasha likes better than anything else is a big crowd. She says she loves people watching her. There are a few right now.
Couple of release skills right off the top. Here is her first one. And then the same release skill that we saw from Chellsie right here. This is great.
A little bit close on that first one, caused the second one to be close again. But back on track.
unfortunate for this team on the odd chance that it comes together so far in your own country.
You know, after Tasha missed in the first day in the team competition, she was right back in the practice, doing drills after drills to assure herself that she wouldn't miss again. And wasn't this fabulous?
Double layout DLO stick. Right there.
Check out this replay. Check out this. Bella Caroli next to Mary Lou Retton, of all people.
Two legends in the sport of gymnastics right there.
And Tasha hits another home run for the United States. 9.6.
What that means for Team USA, they have got two huge bar scores. All of the other countries we have seen major breaks from, they get through cleanly here. They go to the next rotation with a huge advantage.
And this young lady went 9-5 in day one.
Bella Caroli up and standing. Really, it's his wife Marta who's looking over the program, but you know Bella has a say because he always does. There's some confusion here about... Oh, she has no number on.
Wow.
Now what happens? She can't compete without it.
Yeah, you can compete. There's an automatic deduction. But certainly the USA does not want to take that deduction.
There's also a time issue here.
There is a time issue. Once the judge, and they have put the go sign up for Hollie Vise, once they put that up, technically the gymnast has only 30 seconds to mount the bar. If they don't, they can get a warning, and then they can be told to go immediately if they don't. I think they can actually be given a 0, believe it or not.
Now, wait a minute. Someone has just taken a Sharpie and written her number on a piece of paper from the pressed row.
Oh, my God. You know, I don't know if this is legal, to be perfectly honest. I don't think it is. This is crazy.
Can I ask the question, what is with the safety pins? Can't we use Velcro or something? They're going to let her go.
Amazing. That was way beyond 30 seconds. I tell you, she has got to be a little bit rattled now.
And she's been nervous on this combination in warm-up.
Right here to a release skill.
Oh.
Now, can she continue?
Wow.
Now, guys, I know that there are international coaches who complain about events in the United States. You could argue it's sour grapes. You could argue that it's an advantage when teams come to the United States. For a moment, that felt like a huge advantage, that time advantage that they gave Hollie Vise, but it hasn't helped out the United States at all. Yeah,
it did not help, but actually the head judge has control of that event, and she's an Australian, Kim Guadal.
So now, when all things seemed rosy for Team USA, they, like just about all the other powerhouses, are going to have to absorb and play on with a very low score. The unthinkable. A gymnast arrives at one of the biggest moments of her life without the number she needs to compete. And the lack of that number completely unnerves her. Does it unnerve Team USA? We'll find out. We've reached the halfway mark, yes, and it's time to make sure everybody has their numbers firmly tacked on. These are the Wild World Championships of 2003. We'll be back after this with the updated standings.